I have a photography confession to make, and it's actually dirty. As a photographer, I've taken many pictures, and of course, I delete most of them because I don't like them. There are ones that I end up editing because I kind of fancy them. I end up posting them to Instagram or maybe any other platform. You may think that's because I like it, but to be honest, I hate most of my photos. Even the best ones that I've taken, well, they're not that much liked by me when I took them. But it's something that I've grown past, and I can tell you that I'm not the only one who's hated most of my pictures, especially at that instant when I'm done taking them. In this video, I'm going to talk about why you hate your own photos and how you can actually overcome hating your own photos. Photographers are very creative people, and I know this doesn't just apply to photographers but anyone who is an artist. Could be someone that draws or maybe sings or anything like that. You see, as artists, we have very great imaginative power in whatever we do, be it using light to paint or maybe the brush or maybe just sounds, things we do with all of that. We have very great power that a lot of times what we imagine in our head or maybe picture and what we actually do is different, and this creates what many would call expectation disparity. Expectation disparity is when what you get isn't what is up here. When that happens, you could tend to hate what you got, or maybe dislike, if hate is such a strong word. It could make you value it less than, well, then you actually should value it. Before I started using the best of the best gears, I always felt that whenever I mess up a shot, it's actually because I'm not good enough or my gears are not good enough. But to be honest, it's not you, it's not your gear, it's probably just your brain messing up with you. And I'm not trying to say that sometimes it's not because of your skills or your gear. That happens, but it's less likely it. So it's just your brain trying to play games with you. Mind games, right? Truth is, unlike our imagination, which is perfect and limitless, reality is not that way. Reality can be very distorted, reality can be very limiting, and I think that is just fine. That is perfect, to be honest, because in this age of AI where every picture comes out maybe too smooth or too good, I think imperfection is the way to go for any photographer or creative. Wanting the perfect result comes in when we now remember the perfect image we had in our head and wanted to, replicate it. Or maybe we begin to remember that perfect sunlight that just faded away the moment we were about to take the shot. And, the entire memory of all these things, the things we missed, the things we could have done, and the things we plan to do, coming back to, should I say, haunt us after we've taken the shot, and it's not actually what we wanted. Sometimes it's almost it, but maybe just one thing that is slightly off, and it makes us feel if only this thing was there, it could have been better, it could have been the best. For this, the first thing I did was detaching my emotions from the photo and letting my logic take over. Well, easier said than done, but I mean, it's possible. And the next thing I did was know that, yeah, it's okay to be flexible, it's okay to not have things go according to plan, and it's okay to have an imperfect shot, something different from what was originally in my head, especially now that AI is all over the place. And I also think some of the best artworks, be it art or creative works, are the ones that are imperfect. I think it being imperfect is uniqueness and maybe perfection itself. So I allowed myself to be very flexible the way I embrace my photos or just my artworks. I mean, it includes videos as well. I get very, I don't even need nitpicky is right in this one, but I get very, just this isn't fine, this isn't perfect, even on my videos. And a lot of times it hinders me from sharing it. And when you share things like your photos, whatever you create, the more you share it, the more you grow, because you learn from experience. And I mean, when you share it, you keep doing new ones, so you grow from it. So the first thing that I wanted to do is what I've just explained right now, and we move on to the second fix that helped me get over this. As a photographer or maybe any creative, from when you're planning something that you want to create and put out there to when you're actually doing it, and maybe when it's done, just maybe like the rough version of it, till like maybe it's finally done, you've probably looked at it and maybe listened to it so many times. And a lot of times when this happens, you begin to find fault or just get too crazy, nitpicky, and all of that, and it may end up discouraging you from actually sharing it or maybe even disliking it. For me, it happens a lot on my photos. At first, if I eventually or if I actually like it, I'll look at it, and then at the point I'll be like, oh, this I don't want this in the photo. And if it's not something that can be fixed in post, I could end up just dropping the number of stars or the rating I give that photo. Actually, not like a physical rating, but in my head, I'm like, oh, okay, so this photo has gone down from being, maybe, should I say, an A grade shot to a C minus. And yeah, it happens to me a lot. How I fixed this is that I began showing my pictures to someone who wasn't there, who didn't experience all the events that led to it, and all the craziness or maybe all the sweetness. Anyone that works best for pictures you take or just any creative project you do, and let them give me their, of course it's always honest opinion, very unbiased, and them not being there doesn't let their emotions get in the way. So showing people your work is actually a way that can help you like your own creative works. So this is something I do, and this is a tip that is probably not related to this main video itself, but if you're someone that wants to put your creative work, be it photography, maybe songs or anything, for maybe a contest, it's always advisable to give someone, an external person, of course a close friend who is also a pro, to look at it and maybe help you decide and just critique your work constructively. So this is something I do, and it really helps me get over this feeling of disliking my own work, because they'll show you the good things about it, probably perspectives or stories that you never saw that were hidden in the picture itself or just any creative project that you've done. So that is the two things that really help me get over this feeling of expectation disparity, disliking my own photos, all of it. But I still have an extra thing to add. The last thing I have to add is that if you feel this way about your pictures or anything you work on, it's actually because you care. It's actually because you want to grow. And I know it's hard being a perfectionist, but I think it's one of the best things that could happen to any creative. Like I said, it's hard, but it's so good. Remember, if you are someone that has a strong imaginative power, you could still get it right. This time, not in camera, but via post. I'm not saying you should just change up everything using AI, but just little tweaks, little adjustments, and you could maybe not get all of it, but get most of it, of what you wanted. And this is something you should try. Remember, it doesn't just end when we take the picture. For us, at least most photographers I know, we also have the opportunity to edit the pictures we take. So feel free, play with it, get creative, and try to emulate what you actually had in your head.